Hello, everyone. What's up, Wednesday? What's up, everyone? I'm so glad that you are here with me today. It's a midweek. We're having sprints, and you get to decide what you want to do during your sprints. Are you going to be reading? Are you going to be productive doing some kind of task? Are you going to be writing? Or are you just going to be relaxing? Because that's can be included in your sprints as well, because sometimes people need to take a respite and just be for a little bit. I mean, you can meditate or something like that if you would like to. I am excited to be here. My week has got off to a really strange start, and I'll share a little bit about that with y'all in a little bit. But I am planning on reading probably the majority of the time the Graveyard Book, but I did want to give y'all an update on my Victober read. As many of you know, I am participating in Victober for the very first time, and I'm reading the group read The Way We Live Now by Anthony Trollope. And I am making progress, but I still have a ways to go. I am actually on chapter 61. I'm on page 497 out of 825 pages. I'm 22 chapters behind and 6 days behind, but I'm determined I'm going to try to finish this before Tuesday. So we shall see. The good news is the chapters are not super long. They're short and manageable. So I really would like to finish it. I would like to have a successful first Victober. But I will say I'm enjoying this book a lot. There are some catty female characters in here, though. Not very nice to one another. You know, it's all about society and, you know, who's got money, who doesn't, who's got a title, who doesn't. But lots of interesting characters, and they're all kind of like intermingling, and their stories are kind of crossing over into each other. So I found it all fascinating. And I just found out recently that The Way We Live Now is a mini series. So I look forward to being able to watch it because, as I mentioned in my newest video, which was the Victorian Literature Journey Tag, one of the questions was, is there a book that you would like to see made into an adaptation? And so this was before I knew that it was a miniseries. I was like, this would make a great movie or TV miniseries or something, because I could just see it all playing out, all the different storylines and seeing how it intersects. And I can't wait to see the actors that they've chosen for these different characters, because it should be interesting for sure. So that's where I am with my Victorian literature. I do have a couple of chapters I will read tonight after sprints, and then I do have a book club meeting to attend for middle grade March, and that's why I need to finish Neil Gaiman's The Graveyard Book. So that is what I'm devoting my sprint time for, so that I can finish it. It is a reread for me, but it's been quite a long time. I want to say it was 2012 was the last time that I read The Graveyard Book. It's middle grade. It'll also count for a prompt for Halloween, which is the readathon, the middle grade picture book YA readathon over on Storm Reads on her channel. But I have 129 pages to finish in this. Now, if I finish that before time is up on my sprints, I will change over to Salem's Lot, because I am behind on this, and I do have to finish this before the end of the month as well, because I'm having a live discussion with Kelsey about the book, as well as the two miniseries that they had made for television. And that live stream is going to be on November the 5th at 2 p.m. Central Time, where we'll be discussing the book as well as the movies. Same thing, Salem's Lot's a reread for me, but it has been quite a while since I read it, but I like getting back into it. It's my favorite Stephen King book. So we'll see by the time I finish if it still holds up as being in the #1 slot for my favorite Stephen King book, because I've read a lot of, newer King since then, and some older, because I did read Cujo, but we'll see. We shall see. Let's see who is in the chat today. Rachel Adams. She's an author on AuthorTube, and she has subbed in. I actually just got off of a live sprint with my friend Emma Bennett. She is an author, a romance author, and I want to share her good news with you as well. So she invited me to go on for her special day today, which I'll share after we go through comments. So Rachel and I were chatting in her chat. Alicia's here. Hello. Welcome, welcome. Hello, Faye. I'm so glad you're here. I loved your Victorian journey tag. And Emma's here. Hey, Emma. Long time no see. Hey, Christina. Hope everyone is well. Reading The Red Garden by Alice Hoffman. Boot the like. I appreciate that. And Emma said, don't forget to boot the like button, people. Thank you. Thank you. Eloise, hello, hello. Eloise is a new friend of mine. She is an author as well, and she has a YouTube channel that she's recently started that shows her writing adventures. So I'll be checking out her channel soon. I've subscribed to her channel. She was also a guest on Emma's Sprints, so it was nice to hang out with you, Eloise. I'm so glad you're here. And Alicia said, I'll be eating dinner and reading Edenville. Excellent. And Helco, hello, kindred spirit. How are you tonight? What are you up to? Jennifer, hello, hello. Hello, everybody. I'm alternating between working on slides for my Poe class. Ooh, jealous. And reading Uzumaki by Junji Ito. I know I slaughtered that. I'm sorry. I have the worst when it comes to pronunciations. But that's good. So you're reading manga tonight then. That sounds good. Oh, hello. Hello, Lori. Welcome. I know you've been sick. She's been sick for a couple of days. So I tried to read a lot, just finished a book, but I can't find something to do during the sprints. Well, you've probably been resting, so I can't say rest more, but I hope you are feeling better. I commented on your video that you were going to the doctor. Did you make it to the doctor, and did the doctor give you some relief? That's the important questions. And then you have to decide, what are you going to do with your time? I'm crocheting and listening to Daisy Darker. Good. That sounds fun. What are you crocheting? I would love to know. Probably spooky stuff, right? For the Halloween season. Lori finished Cutting Teeth by Chandler Baker. So weird, but also good. I have never heard of that book or the author. It must be horror. It sounds like horror with a title, Cutting Teeth. Hello, it's Scorpio season. Hey, I am reading The Brothers Hawthorne by Jennifer Barnes. That sounds good. And let me know what genre it is. I'm wondering, is it literary? Is it something for Victober? Daisy Darker is such a fun read. I have to add that to my list. How do you feel about Uzumaki? I know I'm not saying that right. So Jennifer, we have someone that wants to know. And Halko is liking it. Alicia likes Uzumaki. I like everything I read from Junji Ito. Y'all need to help me with that pronunciation. I'm so glad you could join my stream. I am too. And I have to announce, because Emma's here in the comments, I just posted on my Instagram. I posted in my stories so that everyone can see the cover of the book. It is called A Christmas Truce. It was released today. It's a romance. And it is out just in time for anyone who wants a little Christmas read. You know, that season is around the corner. I know Halloween is just, a couple of days away. But once Halloween is over with, we've got to enjoy our Thanksgiving, and then we got to get ready for Christmas. So this would be the perfect Christmas read. It is available in ebook as well as paperback. I will be, of course, ordering it paperback. I do not have a Kindle or a way to read ebooks. Maybe something I need to check into in the future. But as of right now, I'm going to stick with a paperback. But if anybody's interested in some romance for the Christmas season, I would recommend checking out Emma's book. Jennifer says, it is so weird and creepy. I'm reading it for the Halloween weekend readathon prompt to read something different from what I usually read. Ooh, I like a challenge. I like when you read outside the box. I did that for a friend of mine. I participated in her 7th grade students challenge last year, and I had to read a genre I've never read. So I chose Western. I actually chose a Gunsmoke Western, and I was really surprised at how much I enjoyed it. So much so that I picked up some more Gunsmoke Westerns at my friends at the library store a couple of months ago. So you just never know. And then I did read my first manga in July for Summerween, and I enjoyed it. I'm reading Demon Slayer. Only read 1 volume so far. I was supposed to try to read a second one during series September, and I didn't get to it, but that's okay. I still have time. But it's always fun to try something that you don't normally read. Eloise says, it was so nice hanging out with you too. I can't believe I wasn't already subscribed. Well, I appreciate it and excited that we are now connected in our, circles that we like to hang out in. So I'm looking forward to spending more time with you in the future. Thank you, Alicia and Jennifer, for your responses. I have wanted to buy it for some time. Sounds good. Thank you. I did go and I need to see someone else, she says. Okay, well, hopefully you can get this all straightened out because, you were pretty sick that it kind of knocked you out a little bit to where it kind of interrupted your plans. So I hope you are feeling better enough that you can get back to resuming some of your normal activity. I know it's hard when I ended up with hay fever and then it turned into something else. I don't know, but I still had that hay fever lingering, and I don't know. I'm on Claritin and I kind of feel like it's trying to start up again. I don't know. It just drains you. It doesn't make you want to do much of anything. I'm saying it right. Oh, good, because I wish I could be better. And sometimes even when I have to film a video and I have a very hard name, I have to find a pronunciation of it and have to listen to it over and over and over again. And sometimes I still don't even say it right. I'm attempting a cat in a pumpkin costume. If all goes well, should be done by Halloween. Okay, so is this, can you tell me like size-wise about what size it is? And are you going to post it on Instagram for us to see? I would love to know. I would consider the series a mystery of sorts. However, I find it a little hard to categorize. Okay, well, that's fair. Sometimes it's not really clear. And then I think sometimes books kind of bleed over into other genres. Like they might be classified as one thing, but then they bleed over into other categories. And, like for example, Fairy Tale by Stephen King, that is listed, horror as one of the genres that it's listed as. And even though there's like horrific scenes in it, I wouldn't really 100% classify it as horror as much as I would classify it as more like dark fantasy. It has horror elements to it, but it's the dark fantasy more in my mind. I don't know. Do y'all agree or not if you've read Fairy Tale? Let me know. Cutting teeth is really creepy. Preschoolers begin craving blood. Something happens to their teachers. It's about motherhood and expectations and so many things. Okay. Well, I am going to have to write that title down. Cutting teeth. It sounds horrific, but also it sounds very intriguing to me. So I'm going to have to check that out. I love that you also like horror, and I have to check out some more of your videos because I have visited your channel and love the video that I watched. So I do need to check it out and see what other horror, because I know you made a video about why you read horror or why you love to read horror. And I'm very curious to see that video. Hello, Ashlyn. Good to see you. I'm currently prepping for NaNoWriMo. Congratulations. That is awesome. I am not officially participating in NaNoWriMo because I have not prepped, but I have talked about this with Emma Bennett, and we kind of talked about it a little bit today. I might use NaNoWriMo to motivate me to get some writing done for my trip to Sicily. I feel like if I can use the time to motivate me, like have a set time to write, I don't know if I can pull it off or not. It won't be 50,000 words or anything like that. But if I can get back on into a routine with my writing, I think that's what I'm planning to do, my trip to Sicily. And I want to do it kind of like in a series. And then once that is written, then I'm going to try to vlog it. Like, because I took a lot of video and I want to see if I can put something together. I've talked about that, before with everybody here on Sprints. Because I've kind of been torn with whether I should write it, like on a blog, I can do the different days. And I could do the same thing with the vlog and do shorter videos, or I could do my series on my blog and then do one big vlog of the trip for my channel. So I'll just have to see how daunting it is once I start organizing it. It may be the kind of thing I could do the shorter clips, a shorter vlogs, and then maybe perhaps do one big longer one. And then it gives options to it. I don't know. I haven't decided yet, but that is what I'm planning to do. Can I ask what you will be writing for NaNoWriMo? Are you going to be writing short stories? Are you working on a novel? If so, fiction, nonfiction, if you could share with us. Christina said, I thought fairy tale was more fantasy than horror, maybe one part, maybe. Yeah, I mean, there's parts in it that I think are pretty horrific, but especially in the fairy tale realm. But there were elements to me, thrilling elements, but for the most part, I thought it was more dark fantasy. So I'm not sure. Oh, well, I do. I want you to get better, and I want you to make more videos and get to more reading. Not too big, the size of my hand. And yes, I'll be posting. Excellent. I want to see that. And Christina said it would be a stretch to say that part was horror, though. Yeah, I mean, if we're thinking about the same time, the same scenes. Hey, Kelsey, what you up to, Kelsey? What you doing? What you doing? What you doing? Are you free tonight? Are you hanging out with Paul? Is he working? Tell me. I want to know. Has anyone read Suffer the Children by Craig DeLuey? Cutting Teeth reminded me of that. I haven't read it yet. I have not heard of that. Anybody else? Lori hasn't, but she's intrigued. Hello, Christine. How are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I saw that you tagged me in your most recent video. I believe was the spooky tag. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but I'm looking forward to it because it looks like it might be right up my alley. Hello, Amal. Welcome. What are you up to? I know you'll be reading plenty. Jennifer is telling Alicia, I loved, kind of weird to use the word suffer the children. It was truly unnerving. Yeah, I know. Isn't it kind of strange, Jennifer, when you want to say that you love something that if people don't read horror, would probably think, okay, you're a weirdo for doing that or liking that. But there's aspects to horror. We were talking about this. Rachel was talking about this in Emma's Sprints about how a lot of horror has to do with what's going on in society. And then you've got a lot that's going on with characters based on what's going on in society. I think there's a lot of social commentary in horror. And it's not all about like the gruesome scenes and stuff like that as much as, I don't know, it depends on if it's more character driven or plot driven, in my opinion. More character driven, I think there's more there because you get into the character's psyche and their relationships. And I don't know. That's just me. It's appealing to me in the sense. Now, I don't want something that's just constant like hacking, like what I would consider torture porn, because I'm sure that it's the same in books. I'm in a meeting about our migration to Canada. We'll be reading after it. Okay, good luck with that meeting. I just got home from running. I feel dead now. So I guess you wouldn't want to join me if you're dying, so to speak. Nice. I have it. So I do plan on reading it soon. Okay. Hello, Amy. Happy Wednesday to you too. I am happy to see you. What are you going to be getting up to? Ooh, running, my nemesis. Yeah. Haha, it's definitely worthy of it. Ooh, I like it. Hey, Jacqueline, I'm just getting home from work and happy to join Sprints. Well, I'm happy you're here. Are you also going to be attending Middle Grade March's book club tonight to discuss the Graveyard Book? I'm going to be writing a novel. Genre is literary fiction with some elements of a family saga. It's going to be about how the protagonist copes with a big loss as an only child and how she evolves. That sounds amazing. Amazing. Okay, Ashlyn. I mean, I will be glad to hear about your progress on that. So we'll have to get updates. And I may go ahead and open something on my NaNoWriMo because I do have an account with them because I've done it for a couple of years ago. So I might just go in there and set it up so I can, look at my word count and all that. But it'll be what I write will be on my blog. So maybe we can connect there. And then totally in one of my horror folklore classes this week, I was just sharing with students how the stories we were reading for the class are a reaction response to the culture and social and society of the time. Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's just the same way with horror movies as well. Kelsey and I have done quite a few marathons where we've talked about movies, specifically horror movies. And, there are some directors out there. I mean, Jordan Peele is one of them. Also Wes Craven. I mean, you look at some of the movies and you can tell, what's going on during that time or what message is being put out there. Yes, they're scary, but there's parts of it that you should be scared because when you become aware of what the message is in it, it really does make you stop and think. And I think it's the same with books. Yes, Cutting Teeth was funny and also a lot around social commentary and parenting pressure and the expectations of women as mothers and as friends. Yeah, that's good to know. Because, I do think there's a lot of pressure surrounding women when it comes to motherhood because so much and things change depending on the era. I just know my kids are 13 years apart, my boys. And things that were expected when my oldest one was a baby, totally different when Andrew was a baby. Like I can remember I wanted to breastfeed Barry and he came early. He was 3 weeks early and we had not been able to attend our classes and stuff that we had scheduled. And the nurses did not want to deal with it. And my pediatrician, I remember, was so angry because they were not supportive. And we ended up putting him on a bottle because they told me if my baby did not eat, that he wouldn't be able to go home. And so I freaked out. I mean, he's born on January 1st, and I was turning 20 on January 11th. So I freaked out. And I was like, no, we'll just go ahead, get formula. Whereas when I got pregnant for Andrew, my husband and I got to attend the classes. He was only 2 weeks early, but their classes were a little bit earlier. And breastfeeding had come, like it was a big deal. And they had lactation consultants at the hospital. They would come in and see me. You could call them once you were released. I mean, it just totally different. And that's just one example of the differences between that time period. Haha, I could join, but I'm disgusting currently and also cannot move from the couch currently. So you are being a stinky couch potato right now. How wonderful is that? Well, I'll be sprinting for a little while. If you want to hop on, just let me know and I can send you the link. You know, if you want to come disgusting and as a couch potato, that's totally up to you. I think you're cute all the time. I'm afraid to read horror. I have had Stephen King on my reading bucket list for some time. However, I always chicken out. Does anyone have any recommendations to ease me into his writing? Well, I would say the first thing you need to know about Stephen King is awesome when it comes to writing characters. He is what I would consider a more character driven novelist. And he does write, he's very descriptive as far as setting the world in the scene. And many of his books, in my opinion, are slow burns. They start off because he's building the world, the community. A lot of his books take place in a small town. And he really does spend the time, giving you information about the characters, so much so that, and this is strictly my feeling on it because I love his books. He's my favorite author. I feel like he gets to the point where you get invested in the characters and it's hard if one of them dies or what they have to deal with. But there are some books that he writes that are not what I would consider true horror. The Green Mile is like that. There's supernatural elements in it. Bag of Bones is like that. More supernatural elements. Even the Mr. Mercedes series, that's more detective. And I don't know. You might even want to try some of his short stories and, like The Mist or 1408. What else? Because I have not read tons of his short stories, but 1922 is another one that comes to mind. If you want to get a little dose of it, Night Shift has some really great short stories in it, if you want to check that out. But his horror, even though sometimes there are scenes in it that are gross or whatever, they're not, they're appropriate for whatever he's writing about. Let's put it this way. It's meant to be there, not so much for shock value, but because of what's going on in the scene, if that makes sense. His books can be scary, like Pet Sematary can be really scary. It can be very scary, but not to the point, in my opinion, that I wouldn't be able to sleep. It'll make you think and it creeps you out, but I don't know. My friends in the chat, weigh in. And what do you think she should start with? Older King to me is scarier in a sense than more of his recent work. I don't know if people agree with that, but I would say his books early on, like Salem's Lot and Pet Sematary, Carrie, those to me would be the creepier ones. Cujo is a horror novel, but it's horrible for other reasons. It's not scary, like something's going to jump out and get you. And poor Cujo is so misunderstood. I cried in Cujo just because of the characters in it. I don't know if that helps or not, but I think it's worth trying some of his stories. You could even try some that are not necessarily horror, but more like the supernatural elements to it. Yay, horror. Eloise, I think you could read some Stephen King, just not really the scary stuff like Salem's Lot or maybe Pet Sematary. Hello, Jody. Popped in to say hello. Heading back to Andy's. Thank you for popping in. I appreciate it. Amal is reading Murder at Elm Street, page 46, e-reading The Day She Disappeared, 27% in, and listening to Hopeless by Elsie Silver, 55% in. Good. Yes, I will be there for a middle grade March book club. Started and finished a Graveyard book last weekend. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, it is a great book. I'm rereading it, and that is what I'm going to be reading during sprints because I didn't get to finish it, and I do want to finish before the discussion. So I will be there too for that. What did you just say about the Graveyard book? I just finished that. About the Graveyard book, we have a meeting at middle grade March. They're having a meeting tonight. So if you want to join in the discussion, they have a channel devoted to the middle grade March book club, and that's going to be 8 o'clock Central Time, and they will discuss it. That was their choice for October, which was, I think, a perfect choice for the spooky season. Amy's editing my November TBR tonight, and I have 10% left of Kelsey's book club book. I would like to finish tonight too at some point. What are you reading and doing? I am reading Graveyard Book until I finish it. And if I do finish, then I will change over to Salem's Lot. That's my plan. Ooh, anyone participating in Nora in November? I am not. I am participating in the L.M. Montgomery readathon, and I'm going to read a nonfiction or two for nonfiction November. And then I've got book clubs and stuff to read for. Can't wait for your TBR video, Amy. That's Kelsey shouting you out. Also, does anyone know what Katrina's book club pick is for November? Because that's the one book I'm missing from my November TBR planning. Amy said I asked her this morning. She's not doing book club picks for November or December, probably because of all the holidays. Ooh, thank you, Amy. And I'm definitely a stinky couch potato. Christine says, wow, that would be so weird to go through totally different external experiences between children like that. I've only had my own childhood to compare things to. Yeah, it really is, because another example of things that have changed, when I had Barry, you were told your baby had to sleep on its stomach so that if for some reason it vomited in the crib, it wouldn't choke. Well, then fast forward to when Andrew's a baby, and guess what? They wanted your baby to sleep on the back because of some research and stuff that had to do with SIDS. Well, let me tell you, Andrew was not a back sleeper, and it was very challenging. I ended up having to kind of get that wedge kind of thing to kind of prop him on the side because he would not sleep for very long. Of course, early on, I was breastfeeding him, which I did for 5 months, but he has never been a great sleeper. Even still today, he's not the best. But yeah, totally different in how they, I mean, and also too, the tests that moms have to go through now was very different than what I had to go through. Like, you know, you have to do the one to make sure that you don't have gestational diabetes, to drink that nasty drink or whatever. I had to do that for both of them. But there was some other tests and things that they had you do when I was pregnant for Andrew that I didn't have to do for Barry. And also ultrasounds were different. Like if you were having a healthy pregnancy, I didn't have an ultrasound for Barry, but very different when I had Andrew. It was almost like the norm for you to have an ultrasound or two. I'm going to reread Night Shift again very soon. I always like that one. I haven't read the whole entire collection, Alicia, but I have read some of the stories out of it, and they're pretty good. I love the one, The Lawnmower Man, even though it has nothing to do with the movie. Do not watch the movie. The Lawnmower Man short story, to me, is awesome. It's amazing. It's so much fun. And it has mythology mixed into it. So if you like mythology, you'll enjoy it. Maybe try King's 11/22/63 or The Life of Chuck in his collection, If It Bleeds. Mike Flanagan is currently filming an adaptation of The Life of Chuck near where I live. Yeah, and also too, if you are interested in the character Holly, who I absolutely love, you could try the Mr. Mercedes trilogy, then read The Outsider, then read The Outsider. To me is creepy, but not so much that you wouldn't be able to go to sleep after reading it. And then If It Bleeds, the novella, and then Holly comes next. She is a great character, and I cannot wait to read Holly. It's either going to be November or December. I think The Shining is the perfect Stephen King. Yeah, The Shining is awesome, but again, that one's one of his earlier ones, and it is creepy, but a lot goes on in it. There's a lot to do with alcoholism and, you know, a man having to take care of his family and the incapability of it because of alcohol use. And then you've got all the hotel with all its secrets and all the bad things that happen and what it feeds off of. The Shining is good too. It is definitely a great winter read. We read that last year for our Year of King. Thank you very much, Kat, for the recommendations. I've written your suggestions down. Yeah, keep me posted. I'd love to know what you end up starting with. Hey, Patty. Hope everyone is doing well. I've only read about 5 of his books, but I love 11/22/63. I love 11/22/63 as well. It's really good. It's got some time travel, supernatural elements to it, a lot of characters that I really like, and you get a bit of history. It's got some history in there, things that I was didn't really know when it came to Kennedy's assassination. Is she scared of the length of the content? I think the content, Christine, content for sure. Cujo is heartbreaking to me. Yeah. My heart is still broken over Cujo. I don't think my heart will ever be repaired. You can ask Kelsey that. I could not really I'm glad I could not have read anything from Cujo when we had our live stream for that, because I think I would have cried. There is a line in there or two that even thinking about it makes me want to cry. So I can't, I don't know. I had never read Cujo until we did our Year of King, and always based my Cujo experience off of the movie, which is so good. I love the movie even more now because I watched a documentary of the making of Cujo. But after reading the book, watching that documentary, and then rewatching Cujo, my appreciation for the film is so different. It's in a good way. But I don't know if I could ever read Cujo again. I don't know if I could do it. It just breaks my heart too much. And I can't even talk about it anymore because I'm about to cry. Lori says maybe the Green Mile. I think the Green Mile is excellent choice. She's thanking everybody for the recommendations. Some short or less horrific of his works are the hard case crimes like Later or Joyland. Yeah, and even the Colorado Kid. I don't know, Christine, have you read the Colorado Kid? Because that one's a good one too. And for people that don't know this, there was a show on television for many seasons called Haven. And Haven is based off of the Colorado Kid loosely, but there are a lot of Easter eggs. Stephen King references and Easter eggs in Haven. So if you read Colorado Kid, check out even just like a couple of episodes of Haven. I like that series a lot. Hey, Mary, I am painting today because I'm so behind for this assignment. What are you painting? Can you tell us what the subject matter is? Hey, Em, I can't believe it's already Wednesday. I know, the weeks fly. Cujo's the only book that ever made me cry. I get it. Yeah. Poor sweet Cujo. I know. He was such a good boy. I am definitely afraid of the content. Yeah. Yeah, I think start off with something, get the supernatural elements, and then kind of graduate to it. Cujo was so good, but it's sad. Yes, Kelsey's in the same boat I am. Colorado Kid is the only one from the trio I haven't read. I highly recommend it. It was the first one in that hard crimes series. Yeah, but Joyland is actually very good too. There are supernatural elements. So yeah, I always forget about the hard case crime ones. Yeah, Cujo, I'm going to big old pass on that one. Yeah. I'm not into books about history, but his 11/22/63 is one of my favorite books of his and isn't too scary. Yeah. It's more about the characters in there and the relationships and things that happen because Jake decides to go. It's a portal fantasy type of book, but not this in the same way like fairy tale or the Dark Tower. It's different, but there is portal, that takes Jake where he needs to go for this mission he's on. I'll just say that. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started on a sprint. We've talked a little bit today, but so many people in the chat, and I'm so excited that everybody's here. Got some new friends that joined in, but we need to get sprinting because, like I said, I do have a middle grade March, and I'd like to get at least 3 sprints in. And we also have Mad Libs to do tonight, so we don't want to forget that. We will do Mad Libs when we come back. So be ready for that. We're going to be doing What Lurks in Loch Ness. We're going to be dealing with the Loch Ness Monster, I think, tonight. So let's see. Yes, we have some thank yous. So let's go ahead and get started. I figure we'll start with our 30 minutes like we do. And happy reading, everyone. Let me get this shared. I got us having some little orange tonight. Fallish and spooky. Okay, happy reading, everyone. Happy productivity. Okay, so how did everybody do during that sprint? I had 129 pages I started with, and I have 88 pages left. So I'm so excited. Nobody Owens is getting a little taste of the outside world, outside of the graveyard, and encountering some things that he thought he was ready to encounter, and ended up having to have some help from Silas, his guardian. So it's very good. I'm loving it. It is such a good book. Let's see what everybody else is up to. I'm trying to find where we were. Okay. Andy popped in from Self Pub with Andy, telling everybody hello, swinging by to say hi. He just had sprints a little at 4 o'clock for an hour. Mary's painting a master copy of the French artist Bouguereau from the 1800s. I think the name of the piece is Italian Girl Drawing Water. Right now I am painting the underpainting. Wow. I would not be able to do that. I'm glad you are so skilled and creative that you can. And Andy was doing a taekwondo kick to the like button. And Emma was asking, why is Andy being so violent? And I was telling Emma he gets pretty aggressive with the like button. But that's good because he's liking it. And I like that. Hey, Katrina. I've been reading Nestlings by Nat Cassidy and loving it so much. I only have 40 pages. That is good. You're going to finish today for sure. I'm guessing you're working also. Let's go through. Christina said, did not read that sprint, trying to decide on supper. Yeah, talking about supper, I will be eating red beans because my husband made that over the weekend, like on Sunday. He cooks a couple of different things for the week, and he's out of town tonight. So I'm glad he did that because it really helped. It helped us Monday, and it also helped us tonight. We had a horrific car accident that I missed by minutes. There is an interstate, it's I-55, and it's an elevated interstate, like a bridge that connects the North Shore and the South Shore. I live on the North Shore. My parents live on the South Shore, and I was going to visit them so that I could take my mom to a doctor's appointment. And the fog was horrendous. And it was because you had the fog and then you had fires off of the marshes. And when the smoke connected with the fog, it sticks to it, and it was very thick. Best way I could describe it is like, you know how thick a marshmallow is? That's how it was. And it was very scary. And I was running behind like 10 minutes. I had to go to the post office and in fact, to mail Amy's book. And I was running behind about 10 minutes or so. And I'm grateful that I was running a little bit behind because as I was traveling, you could barely see. And there was already an accident on there. But really terrible. They had, I think, 150 cars involved. 7 people died, lots of injuries. The interstate is shut down. So that evening, it took me 4.5 hours to get home. And normally it takes me an hour. But so many places that I could have gotten over to the North Shore easily was shut down because of fog and because of this accident and because there were other accidents, other places as well. The spillway is another place that I travel, and it was terrible. So it is closed and we don't know when it's going to reopen. The good news is the low road that follows that interstate, US 51, is open. But like this morning, because so many people are traveling, you know, from the North Shore to the South Shore, it took me an hour and 45 minutes to get to my mom today. I had to take her to the neurologist. So, yeah, it was awful, an awful way to start a Monday for people. And I'm it's surreal to think how close I came to being a part of it. Although the side that I was on was not as bad as the other side going in the opposite direction. They had a tanker truck that caught on fire. So anybody interested in, more details about that, you just have to Google I-55 accident on Monday, October the 23rd. But I don't know, it's just too much to even fathom. But that's how my week started, and I'm glad that it's gotten a little bit better. And I'm just, praying for those families of those people that were in that accident and everybody involved. Just hard. Christine didn't read. I did some Halloween cards and watched Lauren's video. Yes, I need to watch a lot of videos. I'm still behind. I'm hoping to catch up. Just so much going on in my life right now between my mom's diagnosis and, working and just other things, just life in general. But yeah, I need to watch because so much good stuff is out there. I read some of Uzumaki and started cooking dinner. What are you eating tonight? I'm eating red beans. It's Scorpio season. I read 22 pages. Very good. Lori fed her dogs and cat. Told my neighbor her cat was in my yard and started Daphne by Josh Malerman about 15 pages in. Excellent. I've only read one Josh Malerman, and that was The House at the Bottom of the Lake. It was okay. It wasn't what I was expecting. I thought it was going to be more horror, and I felt like it was more romance. The writing was fine, and I loved all of the scenes that were in the actual house. I just wanted some more. I think there was like so much more to it. But I have Bird Box by Malerman, and I want to read that one. I've seen the movie, but it's been a long time. M read a chapter and Wrangled Children. Oh, in Wrangled Children. Good. Alicia ate dinner and secured the chickens. We had a mean owl lurking about. Ooh, that owl better not be trying to get your chickens. No, no, no. No chickens with the owl. Forgot to mention I'm audio booking A Hobbit, A Wardrobe, and A Great War. It's a nonfiction about the friendship of C.S. Lewis and J.R.R. Tolkien, two authors I love. Let me write that down because I love C.S. Lewis. I have not read anything by Tolkien. I've seen the movie. Oh, no, I take that back. I've read The Hobbit, and I love The Hobbit. So, Hobbit. But my favorite book in the whole wide world, is A Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. That is my absolute favorite book. Like if I was on Desert Island Disc, that TV show where you have to pick songs and then your favorite book to take to an island, that would be it. Who is the author of that? I mean, I guess if I Google just the title, there's probably only one like that. That is great. Thanks for that suggestion. I mean, I know that's what you're reading, but yes, you're always working on Wednesday, Katrina. Got my thumbnail made. Excellent. Oh, no. So glad you missed that. 7 people have died. Yes, so far. There are so many, there was so many people that were in critical condition. So that's as of the last time I saw. I can't even imagine. And I'm just going to tell you, if anybody has seen the movie Silent Hill, that is the best way I can describe how thick the fog was. There are scenes in Silent Hill where people walk into the fog and it just envelops them. That's literally how I felt when I got to that section, because it wasn't the same level of fog the whole way when I was driving. It was just right there by Man Shack. And luckily, I wasn't driving fast, obviously, but, there was an 18-wheeler stopped, SUV in front of me, and then me. And then I just prayed that people behind us. Now, there was a car that I could hear coming. I just closed my eyes because I was like, it's going to hit us. And he screeched to a stop. And the 2 cars, he was in another lane. They had kind of moved to the side and he was able to stop in the middle. Thank goodness. But it wasn't until we were able to get into that next lane that I could see that there was an accident. It was 3 cars, and my heart was breaking for them. They had a young girl. She had to be like in her early 20s, and she was on the phone crying. And I just was like, please make sure that more people are not running into them already in that position. And then they had 2 people on the right side on the shoulder. I don't know if they were just stopped or if they were also involved in this and were able to get over. I'm not really sure. But I literally had 1 or 2 cars, and I just watched them the whole entire way, because even if you let them get ahead of you just a little bit, it was like you couldn't see them. But it was the scariest driving experience. Like, I thought it was scary to drive in really heavy rain, which that is scary too, because that's a whole nother thing, because the rain gets so loud you can't hear. But it was terrible, because you can hear but you can't see. You were close to that wreck from the news. Yes, I was, Kelsey. In fact, Michelle texted me yesterday, and she was getting worried because I didn't text right away because I had to work yesterday. And she called and was like, please just let me know that you're okay. And I felt bad because I didn't want to text this whole long thing. I planned to call her. And so we had a long conversation yesterday. Faye said, I just finished a hard scene from the French play I have to read for class. Happy to move on to something fun for the next sprint. So what are you reading? Are you reading something for Victober? So glad you missed the wreck. Thank you, Ashlyn. Me too. It's like it's the way it works out. But wow, 150 people involved. Glad you were safe. Thank you. There was even a car or I believe it was a car. And if you watch some of the footage, you can see the car on the roof. They said the car went over the railing, but whoever was in the vehicle was able to get out. So they did not go over the railing. It's hard to explain how this interstate is. Kelsey knows because Kelsey's traveled it. But yeah, that wreck was brutal. Thank you so much. It was scary. Lots of injuries and deaths. I'm so glad you missed that. I can't believe you were near that. Yeah. It's just great. And I had no idea what transpired after I left, after I got past all that, because of course I got to my mom's, and then we went to her appointment. So it wasn't until I had to get home that I was hearing more details. Geez, I'm so glad you missed that accident. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mary. Yeah, and we have no idea how long it's going to, they think that there's structural damage to the bridge too. Why the marshes on fire? Well, because apparently they didn't, from what I understand, it's not something that gets set on purpose. Apparently sometimes hunters go out there and they will try to smoke animals out, like rabbits and stuff like that, because they're hunting, which is you're not supposed to do that. But sometimes that's what happens, and then they catch on fire. So I don't know, like I haven't read anything. I haven't found anything out as to why the marshes were burning, but it's what I guess you would consider the perfect storm, like these 2 things happening at the same time, which is terrible. I don't know. We're having bacon and pancakes tonight, breakfast for supper. That is an awesome dinner. I love breakfast for supper. In fact, when we go to Cracker Barrel sometimes for dinner, I will get French toast. It's called Mama's breakfast or something like that. It's French toast and eggs, and I get mine over easy. And then you get this hash brown casserole with bacon. Of course, I'm not supposed to eat any of that, and I haven't had that in a very long time, I will admit. But if I could eat it, it would be so good. Just coming back, saw the accident comments. What's odd is I saw that headline much earlier and immediately worried about you and Kelsey. Thank you, Patty, for thinking of us. Yeah, Kelsey actually lives where my parents live. So she's on the South Shore. She lives very close to where my parents live, maybe like 10 minutes away from them, 15 minutes. She wouldn't have been traveling that, but she knows that way because she has come over to the North Shore. She came to see me in my play, The House on Haunted Hill. Oh, hey, Cameron. Hello, welcome. I'm glad you avoided that accident. That sounds horrible. Wanted to stop and say hi, and thank you for the Halloween card. You are most welcome. I hope you enjoy it and the spooky season. And thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. Faye said, Bird Box is great. That got me out of a horrible reading slump a few months ago. Excellent. Yeah, I loved the movie. I thought it was great. And I know that there is also a sequel to it. Going to be making spaghetti and meatballs for dinner over here. So glad you avoided that accident. Sounds so scary. It was very scary. Yeah. And so now I'm like going to be paranoid, when they do open it back up. Like I'll be paying more attention, I guess, to like what kind of advisory or whatever. But I don't even think anybody thought that it was going to be an issue until it happened. So yeah. But meatballs and spaghetti sound really good. Joseph LeConte is the author. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I would have needed a case of beer after that drive. Oh my God, so stressful. Yeah, it was the whole, it was, I don't really like to drive to begin with. I always tell myself if I ever won the lottery, I would hire a driver. That would be like one of the things that I would put on my list, like my own personal driver. I just don't like it. If I can convince my husband to drive me somewhere, I will let him do that, which is so funny because I couldn't wait to learn how to drive when I was a teenager. It's amazing how things change, but it can be nerve wracking driving. And I find it's more nerve wracking now to drive than it was when I learned how to drive. I can tell you it was more nerve wracking to teach Andrew how to drive than it was to teach my oldest son to drive because things were so different. I mean, he was born in 89. So he was born in an era where you didn't have all the cell phones and stuff. That's when it was just starting. And it was very different, than it is now. So I'm still worried when my boys drive, because it makes me nervous. Okay, so we are going to do Mad Libs because I like it and I love our stories that we've been having so much. We need some contributions. Yeah, you see Kelsey's the same way. I hate driving too, and thank you for thinking of me and cat patting. Yeah, it's very, very sweet of you. So today's What Lurks in Loch Ness. The way we've been doing it is I'm going to call out what part of speech or whatever they're asking us to do. And if we get multiple, and there's multiple, I'll just go through that. So the first thing that we need, and I guess I could put our music on. I mean, I don't know if y'all like that music that I play when we're doing this. Let's see. Tonight we can get some acoustic cinematic. It sounds kind of like Victoberish kind of music. I don't know if y'all can hear that. I don't want it to be too distracting. But the first space is an adjective. Anyone with an adjective would like an adjective. I love it. Patty says sets the mood, and yes, the Jeopardy music. I wish I did have Jeopardy. I wish we could get away with that, right? Okay, we have gorgeous. Gorgeous is our first adjective. And Amy's got slimy. Let's see. I do think I have a yes, slimy. Good. Let's see. Anybody else with it? Of course, slime and slash. You guys are the best. Thank you. Okay, so noun. Can I get a noun? We use gorgeous and slime. Well, let me see. Mary said creepy. I'm going to use Mary's creepy for another adjective. She was next. Don't think I have. Oh, I do. So Patty will get you squelchy, and that takes care of all of our adjectives. Okay, I need a noun, and Alicia has liquid nitrogen. So specific. You would be so great at improv. We need to do improv on here. I need some people to do some improv with me. Okay, let's see. Okay, I don't have I do have. Let's see, we'll put toad down here. Thank you, Kelsey, for that toad. Christine has avocado. If you're okay with me doing a plural avocado, I'll put that there. And let's see, I have Another plural noun. So if y'all are okay with pumpkin being pumpkins, we'll do that. Okay, next I need but these are good. Bone, baseball, corpse. Ooh, I love the difference in noun choices. Celebrity. Could we get a celebrity, please? Pick somebody good because it's going to be mentioned twice. This is some interesting music. Whoo, Bill Murray, good one. Okay, I need a number. I need a number, please. Oh, Henry Cavill would have been a good one too. Hey, we got the number 7. Lucky number 7. Occupation. Occupation. Ooh, look at this. We had some 227s. 8, 17, 13. We know where Patty's mind is. So specific again, Alicia. I think you would be good at improv. 457, 62. Yes, Laura, that's specific. Chiropractor. Mary's got us with a chiropractor. I need a person in the room. I don't have any other. Mortician, attorney, ooh, coroner, journalist. These are excellent. What are the odds that you both said 27? I know. Could you imagine if 27 was 3 times? Because you know 3 is the magic number. Okay, Mary's putting me in this story. Oh, Lord. I can imagine. Part of the body. Oh, yes. We have Ant-Man. Ant-Man was in our story last week. Yeah, our Ant-Man. We need to figure out how to make a small Ant-Man. That would be pretty funny. Okay, we have a foot. I need well, you know what? Let me go back up to numbers. Let me go back up to the numbers because I actually need another number. Our second number was 27 and it was twice. So we're going to go with that number 27. Exclamation. I need an exclamation. Let's look at these body parts. Leg. Ooh. Esophagus. An elbow. A tibula. Ooh, we're getting really specific with that. Kidney. An eyeglass. Oh, okay. How can I do an exclamation point? Do I say exclamation point? What do I do? Do I say exclamation point? What do y'all think? Or do I go with ouch? Let's do ouch. Okay, I need an animal. An animal. Let's see these. Dag nabbit. Yikes. Phooey. Daggum. Dag nabbit is amazing, Christine. Yes. So I need an animal. I love it. Rabbit. Rabbit, that rhymes with dag nabbit. Penguin would have been cute too. I need a silly word. A silly word. Unless we use one of our exclamations. Oh yeah, a sugar glider would have been cute. Except they're cute. I don't know if something bad would happen to them. Let's see. Kelsey, I've never said it in my life, so no idea where it came from. I second Alicia's choice. Whatevs. That's the silly word. Whatevs. Of course. It is silly. Hanging around Kelsey so much, I end up saying whatevs. Piddle and phooey. Very good. These were all good. Okay, so let me double check. 1, 2. Yes, awesome. Story's complete, but as you know, we're going to read that story when we get back. I love how you vote for Piddle. Well, whatevs got in there first, so we have to go with what's first. And we're going to go ahead and turn our lovely music off since that is finished. And we're also going to answer our question today. I'm going to do this both at the same time, only because of time. And our question for today is, would you rather walk through a graveyard at midnight or spend a night in a spooky, abandoned old house? Sad to say, this is our last Halloween edition question. So I'd love to know what y'all would like to do. Graveyard at midnight or spend a night in a spooky, abandoned old house? Thank you. It's Scorpio season. We need your name. It's Scorpio season if you don't mind sharing. Whatevs. Piddle is amazing too. Yeah, we'll have to keep that open. Why not both? Spend a night in a spooky old house. Okay, that's a good one. My Facebook group peeps, most of them want to walk through a graveyard, not do the house. Graveyard for Lori. Patty said, graveyard at midnight. Another graveyard for Mary. Eloise said, I'd rather walk through a graveyard at midnight because that won't take as long to get to if something gets spooky. That's true. I mean, graveyard will be over quicker. You see, Eloise Faye is in the same boat you are. She doesn't want anything to happen. I think I'd rather walk through the graveyard at midnight because it would be atmospheric. Yes. Depends on what kind of house you get in, how spooky it is. I don't know if I could, haunted houses, haunted anything like buildings, whatever, are like very creepy and scary to me. So it really is amazing that I didn't like session 9 as much as I should have, according to Kelsey, because that is in a spooky, atmospheric, abandoned asylum. But that is my trope that I do tend to like to read about. So Camille. Oh, Camille. So it's Scorpio season is Camille. I love that name. Beautiful name. Okay. So that way I can call you Camille. I like to call people by their name if possible. If you're okay with that. Graveyard at midnight, so fun to look at the tombs. I wouldn't be opposed to staying in an abandoned house either, though. But you know what? If I stay in an abandoned house, I have to have a good group of people with me. I could go through the graveyard at night by myself. I would be probably very scared. So I probably would pick graveyard too, unless I could get a group to come with me in the house. And I hate to say it, we would not split up. I would never be alone by myself. Graveyard is less scary to me. Hopefully it isn't freezing out. Well, also it depends, you have zombies come out of those graves too. Yeah, escaping might not be as impossible in a graveyard. That is so true. Haha, don't make me cry, Kat. I'm so sorry. Maybe I need to watch it again. I mean, everyone hates on session 9. I don't know. Maybe I need to watch it again. Maybe, I did watch Christmas Evil again, and I did feel differently after I watched it. Right, Patty? And then I binge watched The Fall of the House of Usher this weekend while in New Orleans, dog sitting. You were in New Orleans this weekend dog sitting? You're not so far from me. I only live an hour away. It was not at all what I thought it would be, but I liked it. Well, good. I'm glad you liked it. And I hope you were able to get some good food when you were here. Also, I need to let Christine know. Christine, crumble cookies this week. There is a pumpkin flavor. You need to look up crumble cookies menu for this week. Their menu for this week is fantastic. I'm thinking about getting some. I was. Follow the House of Usher. I'd be really curious to see how that is. This is the new one, I'm assuming that you're talking about. Okay, let's go ahead and do another sprint. It's 6:10, 45 would put us, let's do 30 minutes. Let's do 30 minutes and then we'll do another 30 because we have been talking long and doing a lot of activities. If that's okay with everybody, either that or we were going to end up doing 45. I feel like such a fatty making a special drive out just to get cookies. I know. I'm not supposed to be eating them either, but there's a pumpkin one. It's like this pumpkin cheesecake something or other. And I'm thinking it would be the last pumpkin one they're going to probably have for the season. They are very creative. Yes. Yes, they are very creative. I love it. And I love that they change them every week. That's what I love about it too. Okay, so if everybody's okay with 30 minutes, let's do that. And we'll get back on our normal track, hopefully, with sprints. Like I said, the only reason I'm 45 minutes this time is because I had to take my mom to the neurologist and I didn't know with all the stuff that was going on with traffic. And then, oh, damn. So you're saying I have to go now. I'm just saying if you want some kind of pumpkin related thing. They'll have Christmas, I'm sure. Okay, so let's share the screen. Happy sprinting, whatever you end up getting up to. See y'all soon. The kitty cat scared me that time. Woo. Let's see, let me stop. Okay. So what did everybody get up to? I ate dinner, but I had also gotten called by my dad about my mom. So I had to call him back and get that all sorted out. And hopefully they'll have a good evening together. And then I also was looking up crumble cookies for Christine because she has not had the pleasure of having one. And Christine was saying, "Oh, damn. So you're saying I have to go now?" And Kelsey said, "You should go, Christine. Kat got me some of those cookies and they are incredible." And I love that Christine said, "Okay, this is no longer my fault then. Tee-hee." And I'm only laughing because I'm contributing to it. But they are delicious. And if you don't know anything about crumble cookies, I would say if you have one in your area, try it because they are delicious. Now, I will say they are a little bit pricey, but they're huge. The cookies are very dense and they're huge. So Christine looked them up to tell us the flavors. But when you look at the pictures of them, they are divine. I got to find them because I looked it up so I could share with you. I want to try every cookie. Now, every week they have different, let's see, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different cookies. They always have a chocolate chip. And then the other 5 cookies change. And so like the pumpkin brownie, that one is a brand new one. They've been doing a pumpkin type cookie every week. This one sounds delicious. It's a chocolate cookie top with pumpkin cheesecake frosting, chocolate ganache, and brownie crumbles. I want to try that one. And then there's a strawberry cheesecake, which is a chili cheesecake cookie with a buttery graham base, vanilla cream cheese frosting, house-made strawberry jam, and graham cracker crumbs. There's a carrot cake, and I love carrot cake. A spiced carrot cake swirled with cream cheese frosting and a crunch of pecan garnish. Buttermilk pancake, which intrigues me. A warm pancake cookie topped with a buttermilk glaze and a buttercream dollop. And then finally, honey bun, a delicious, rich cinnamon cookie smothered with a honey butter glaze. I want to try all of them because they all sound delicious, in my opinion. Usually I might just have 1 or 2, but they all sound so good. And Christine had asked if they're the same at all the stores. Yes, because they're like, I guess, a chain or franchise. And I think they might be a franchise, but you can get, they're not open on Sundays, so keep that in mind. They're not open on Sundays, but I think that's when the new flavors might be announced for the upcoming week. So the flavors are always just good for a week. The chocolate chip cookie is all the time. So, but they're very good, in my opinion. Linda joined us. And Christine said that she missed the pistachio one. That was last week. And I told her we missed it too. My husband loves pistachio. In fact, that was my gift I brought him back from Sicily, was pistachio type candy. It was like fancy candy. Jennifer left us. I know she's gone by now. She's wishing everyone a happy Halloween because the next time we see each other, it will be after Halloween. Christine listened to some Salem's Lot and worked on diamond painting. All you diamond painters. I love that y'all are doing it. I've read 16 pages of Armadale. Guess what, Faye? I got myself a copy of that. I am supposed to be editing a book haul of my Victorian literature. I need to do that between tomorrow and Friday morning so I can try to get that out by Saturday. Hope your mom is okay. Thank you. She's doing okay. She just gets confused. And today when we saw the neurologist told us if she didn't have to take magnesium to get her off of it. My mom's lost, in my opinion, a significant amount of weight. She only weighed like 123 pounds. We went today, she was 114. So that's almost a 10-pound weight loss since August. She's so thin to me, but she's not eating. And the doctor seems to think it's because of the magnesium. So, because it's causing her like bathroom problems. I know that's like TMI, but Anyway, she was confused because she thought there was another medicine that she was supposed to stop taking. So I had to talk to my dad, then I had to talk to her, and sometimes you just can't reason with her. I read a little bit of Edenville, very good. I diamond painted and called my parents. Haha, that's about it. Well, that's better than nothing. Finished editing, and I'm just exporting and setting up on YouTube now. It will go live tomorrow morning. Excellent. I can't wait to see. Lori said I switched to Delicate Condition on Kindle by Danielle Valentine. Interesting title. I found out I'm on a volleyball carpool duty tomorrow night, so everyone pray for me. I sure will, especially depending on how many girls you or guys you have in that carpool in your car. I didn't realize they changed each week the flavors. Yes, the flavors change every week, except chocolate chip cookie. Hello, Joanne. Welcome. We are doing great. We have some hellos with Joanne. I heard cookies. What kind and what's the bakery brand called? It's Crumble Cookies. Crumbl Cookies. And they're not in everyone's areas, or if they are, they're kind of far. Like my original one that I visited, I've only been like maybe 4 times in my entire life. But the first one I visited was in Covington, which is about 30-ish minutes away from my house. But they ended up opening one in July in my town, which could be dangerous. Now, with that being said, I've only been there, I think, 3 times. Yeah, 3 times since they opened in July. And I try to do it for like a special occasion kind of thing because it could get out of hand. Christina's saying hello and saying she had never heard of them. Everyone's saying they're doing well. Oh my God, those sound so freaking delicious. Yeah. Amy, if you have one in your area, look and see. I wish I could send y'all crumble cookies, but by the time y'all will get the crumble cookies, it would take too long for you to get them. I wish we could ship them like express, like the king cakes, because that would be better for you to be able to have the king cakes. Yeah, it is a bakery. Like they'll make them for you when you go in, but it's like a national like cookie chain. I say national. I don't know how far they extend. I know they have them in Atlanta, and I know that they have them in Louisiana. I don't know about anything else. Well, if I drive all the way out there, I may as well get the largest size. Yeah, I would. And also it's cheaper by how many you get. So like when I got them for Kelsey, it was cheaper for me to get 4 cookies than it was for me to get 3 individual ones because I got one for me, one for Paul, one for Kelsey, and then I just got Kelsey an extra one, and she and Paul could share it. I mean, I didn't need the extra one, but I wanted to get that pumpkin one because it was like a pumpkin spice cheesecake one or whatever, and it was perfect for our day that we spent together. So Kelsey, I may have to try to see what the flavors are before our Salem's Lot. I'd have to get them the night before, which they would still be good. They'll still be fresh. Either that or you're going to have to go back to your old blueberry muffin that I get from PJ's. They are delicious cookies, lovely for gifts too. Yes. In fact, quite a few people, and I'm talking kids to teenagers to adults, get them in lieu of a cake for birthdays. That's just logic. Well, I just looked up to see how big they are. Bigger than a donut. Yes, they're huge. If you have watched, I mean, I guess it was hard to tell. They're huge like this. I don't know if I can get that size. Okay. And then they're thick. So they're not thin cookies. They're thick and they're dense. So like, for example, when my mom came to stay, I cut mine in half and ate only half of it. My mom did the same. We brought the other half to my dad the next day. And then for Kelsey, I cut mine in half and brought my other half home to my husband because it was too big. I don't know. I've never attempted to eat one. And then even one time we had gotten them when they first opened and we kind of cut them like in fourths so everybody could kind of taste them or whatever because they're huge. Alicia, I'm a smart cookie. Badumptus. Y'all funny. Can't wait for your Victorian book haul. Thank you. Love it. Joanne saying, what are you guys working on tonight? I'm reading. I'm trying to finish the Graveyard book before my book club meeting tonight. I'm not working on anything writing wise. And I think most of our writers might not be here any longer. Patty says, I've been so much better about sweets, but when Crumble has anything cinnamon related, I'm a goner. Yeah. Looks like you can have them shipped, but they're different flavors. Ooh. And we are all going to be eating cookies and diamond painting. Yes. We don't have a crumble cookie near me. Nonetheless, the cookies look delicious. Yes, they are delicious. So if you ever visit a town, the whole point of how I heard of crumble cookie was because when I went to go to Atlanta to visit my niece when she was graduating from high school a couple of years ago, she said, oh, there's a crumble cookie. We should go there when you visit, while you're here visiting. Well, we never did, but she was telling me how awesome they were. Well, it's one of those things when somebody tells you something like you had never heard of it before, and then all of a sudden you see it. Well, that's when I found out that they had one in Covington. And so I was like, okay, well, whenever I go to Covington, I'm going to have to try it. So that's what we did. Mary said they have one in Arizona. My granddaughter is addicted. Yes, the young folk are addicted, but I'm not a young folk and I'm kind of addicted to it. Oh my God, I just checked and I have one in my town. I'm so excited. You have to go, Amy. And this week will probably be the last time they're doing a pumpkin. Well, I say that. We still are in fall. So they might have pumpkin after. But did you hear those flavors I said? They're all fantastic. Thank you again for the cookies, Kat. Well, Kelsey, we're going to have to talk before I come. There's something about a pink bakery box that makes me so happy. I can't explain it. And when they bring them out to you, like you order it and then they bring it to you, at least my experiences at the 2 stores I've been to, the baker comes out and they open the box and shows you what your cookies look like. And then they, close it. And then you go on your happy little cookie way. I have to drive a few cities over to find a crumble cookie. Yes, you do, Alicia. But there is one in Atlanta. If you ever make it to Atlanta, I totally ate mine all at once. When it comes to sweets, I'm the beast. Yes, you are. Yes, you are indeed. Me too, Kelsey, but I've gained so much weight in the last few years from stress eating and my job. Yes, I'm a stress eater too. Totally understand. Hey, Swamp Gas. And then Amal said, how many sprints are left? I'm going to do one more. But before we go to the next sprint, we're going to read our story. So y'all are ready? What lurks in Loch Ness? I wish I could do a Scottish accent. I cannot. So I'm not going to make y'all cringe. Here goes. If you ever travel to Scotland, you might be gorgeous enough to catch a glimpse of the Loch Ness liquid nitrogen, also affectionately known as Bill Murray. Sightings of the creature date all the way back to the year 7, when legend has it, a chiropractor named Cat saw Bill Murray rising from the lake and shouted, "Ouch!" Since then, Loch Ness has been a slimy destination for avocados traveling from all over the world. The creature is said to have a foot nearly 27 feet tall. 27 feet tall, and a body longer than 20 pumpkins. While many think the legend is just a creepy hoax, believers say the creature is actually some type of rabbit that was trapped in the lake during the whatevs age. Whatever the truth may be, if you're lucky enough to take a photo of the toad, you'll become one of the most squelchy people in the world. Bum, bum, bum. How about that? I love it. Bill Murray rising from the lake. And I was a chiropractor. Who knew? An accent would have been so fun. Haha. Yeah, it would have been fun for y'all to laugh at me as I was trying, because I don't even know how to do a Scottish accent. It would be terrible. Terrible. No, I wish we had one where I could be countrified, because I can do a really good country accent. I could get into that. This is already great. Well, of course, it's because we have such awesome, creative peeps in the chat. Whatevs age. Yeah. So we have the whatevs age, and this all went back to the year 7. I love it. So I can't believe it. Yeah. It has a foot, nearly 27 feet tall, and a body longer than 20 pumpkins. Boy, that foot could kick you to the moon and beyond. Okay, so if I had to title these sprints tonight, our sprints we would take away from this story would be the whatevs age. I think that's what we would title it. Yeah, I love this one. It was funny. So funny. Yes, I love it too. It was an amazing story. I think you're partial because it had Bill Murray in it, Kelsey. Bill Murray was the perfect choice. Yes. Awesome. Excellent. Yes, the year 7 was a good year. So funny. And that it was some type of rabbit that was trapped in the lake during the whatevs age. Out of all the animals that we could have picked, a rabbit. And that would have been funny if we would have used dang nabbit. Then we would have had a rhyme there. Something Dr. Seussian, right? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do one more sprint. That'll give us time to sprint and then also wrap up before I need to go run over to Middle Grade March book club. So I'm going to attempt to get through the remainder of this. I might not make it, but I'll be close enough to the end that I can really participate well. So let's get our Pomodoro Kitty started. And let's say present, share screen. Okay. There we go. So happy reading. Well, welcome back. How did everybody do? Of course, I did not finish. I have, 307. Oh no, I cannot do mental math. 1. Oh, I have 36 pages left. So I might be able to get through it before they actually meet. We'll see. But I'm loving it. Loving it. And it's a very intense part of the story. So, so good. Highly recommend it to anybody that likes to read middle grade horror fantasy. The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman. So good. And also, if you have not read Coraline, I would highly recommend Coraline for that. Lori ended up heading out. So glad she was here. Christine did not read, but had supper and played a game. That sounds good. Crystal popped in to say, hey, she's sorry she's missed sprints the last few weeks. It's been a wacky month, which I told her I understand wacky. It's been like that for me. Julie Z popped in. She was looking to get some writing done and happy to find sprints, but unfortunately this was our last sprint for tonight, only because I have to go to book club. 62% of hopeless is how far Amal got in. Amal is reading Murder at Elm House for the rest of the sprint, and thanks for the sprint. You are quite welcome, Amal. I always appreciate you being here. Didn't read was watching Sav's book club discussion. That's fun. I'm down to the last 3 hours of listening to Salem's Lot. Lucky duck. I have so much to read of Salem's Lot, but I've decided that I'm not going to start anything new, and I'm going to work solely on finishing my Trollope book for Victober and Salem's Lot because I have the... So that's what I'm just going to have to do, and everything else that was on my list I'm going to have to forego. Sad, but true. Faye read 21 pages of Armadale, and that's my daily quota met. Very good. I have 2 chapters of my daily quota for Trollope, so I'll see how I do, if I can finish that before I go to sleep. Camille read another 20 pages. Excellent. Also was at Sav's book club during the sprint. That's good, Kelsey. And finished my diamond paint. And woot woot, you need to take a picture so we can see it. Thanks for sprinting. I'll try to get here earlier next time. Yeah, and hopefully I can get back on track. I normally start at 3:30 and then go for about 3 to 4 hours. That's normally what I like to do. But for the past 3 weeks, for 2 weeks, we knew our electricity was going to be turned off for maintenance. And I was just a little concerned, what if it didn't come on in time? So I backed it up. Well, the first week it rained, so they canceled it and postponed it to the following week. So then it actually happened last week, and then this week I had the appointment. So yeah, hopefully we can get back on track with that. Mary says I have about 1/3 left to paint the first layer. Ooh, you're making progress. And Patty says, thanks so much for these. You are quite welcome, Patty. Thank you for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. Bye, Linda. It's good having you here. I don't know what everybody's getting up to for this weekend. My sister is in town for a conference that she's attending in New Orleans, and I will be spending time with her on Friday. So I'll see my parents and see my sister on Friday, and I'm thinking about spending the night with her at her hotel, and then I'll take her to catch her flight out on Saturday afternoon. That's the plan. So I'll be this weekend with my sister and my parents, but I think it's going to be a good weekend, and maybe Sunday I can spend it all day reading. That would be nice if I could get away with that. Not sure if I can, but we shall see. And then also this weekend on October the 28th, that is my 1-year anniversary of releasing my first ever video on my channel. So I'm pretty excited. I started my channel, got it started and put together and everything. I think it was like in March or April. I have to actually look honestly, but I did not actually release anything out into the world until August 28th. So I'm not really sure if I'm going to do anything to celebrate that or not, but it's just nice saying that I've been on BookTube for a whole entire year with my channel. I don't know. It's just kind of fun. Thanks for the sprints, Kat. You the best. Well, you the best too, Kelsey. Got to chapter 6 of Murder at Elm Street. And it's my mom's birthday, so gotta go. See you, peeps. Happy birthday to your mama, Mo. Thanks for sprints. Hope you have love the last bit of your book. Thank you, Christine. I've never heard of turning off the electricity for maintenance. Yeah, it's really weird and bizarre. And sometimes we would have our electricity just go out it would be a sunny day. And then we'd have a thunderstorm and it wouldn't go out. Like, I don't know if you were watching, Alicia, when I was in sprints and literally, I know Amy was here. Amy Noel was here. Literally just went to the kitty cat and started sprints and my electricity went out. And there was nothing going on. There was no high winds. There was no rain. It was a sunny day. And I literally got on my phone, realized that because I did not get out of StreamYard, I streamed on my front porch. It was hot as Hades. And I streamed and I had a plan. I was going to go across to our neighbors to see if I could use their Wi-Fi and film over there. Well, when I went over there, my son came running out and said the electricity's on. And then I was able to pop back on, I think with 5 minutes to spare to get back on. But that was the craziest thing. Thanks for sprints, Kat. I had a lovely night. Have a lovely night, everyone. Bye, Amy. Thanks for being here. Yay. Happy 1 year. Thanks for sprints. Also, happy anniversary. Thank you, Alicia. Always excited for you here. Thanks, Amy. I'm excited. Happy anniversary. Thanks very much for sprints. Take care, everyone. Goodbye, Camille. Hope to see you again. Happy almost anniversary. Thanks for the great hangout space. Thank you, Mary. I always appreciate you being here. I do remember when that happened. So weird. Yeah, so you were with me. It was the weirdest thing ever that I experienced. But the saving grace was that I had just gone to sprint. So I lost the kitty cat. But then I did the sprints out on the porch, which was not ideal. But then once it got on, all was good. But that's the kind of stuff that happens here with electricity. It's just really weird. And so people were really aggravated. And one of our council women, she talked to them about it. And they were like, just make an announcement when you're going to do those kind of things so people can make plans for it. So at least we got a heads up and you could plan. But nothing is worse when you don't plan it and then all of a sudden you don't have electricity. So, and I'm not fancy. I don't have the in-home generator to keep things going, unfortunately. So anyway, we do the best we can. And I'm so glad that y'all are understanding enough that stuck with me through that ordeal. It was crazy. I can't even remember what month that was. I just remember it was hot. It was in the summer. I think it was kind of pretty much close when I was first starting to do my Wednesday sprints. I don't know, too much. But anyway, I'm so glad everybody was here tonight. Thank you so much. Thank you for those who happened to come in and do the rewatch. I really appreciate y'all coming in and using the sprints to get some reading or writing done. That means a lot to me. And as always, until our paths cross again, I'm going to say stay amazing and be adventurous. And I will see y'all next week. So happy reading, happy whatever you're getting up to. Have an awesome Halloween, which is next Tuesday. I hope you enjoy the rest of your spooky season. Bye. Bye. Bye, Alicia.